Passage 3 is also a data passage, and it shows the idea of a food web in an ecosystem. And it shows that in Figure 1, that this diagram right here shows that species A is eaten by species B. So wherever the arrow is going to, that species is consuming the other organism. So B is consuming A. Figure 2 is showing a food web, and it mentions that species 7, 8, and 9 are plants. We also have the biomass of pond A being measured. And the relative biomass was what was calculated, which is just the biomass on one of the 5 days divided by the maximum biomass out of those 5 days. And it was recorded in Table 1 here. So number 9 says, on which of the 5 days listed in Table 1 was the average biomass of pond A the greatest? Okay. Well, in Table 1 it gives us the relative biomass, but based on the way that was calculated, the higher the relative biomass, the higher the average biomass. So the highest number in this table is 1. So day 90 had the highest biomass. So that was letter D. Number 10 says, based on Table 1, the relative biomass of pond A on day 45 was most likely closest to which of the following? So there is no day 45 here, but 45 would be halfway between 30 and 60. So we would find a relative biomass somewhere in between day 30 and day 60. So halfway between 0.87 and 0.93 would be 0.90. Number 10 was G. Number 11 says, based on Figure 2, which species is a decomposer? So if you look at Figure 2, it's going to help to know that decomposers break down dead plants and animals, and the thing that has an arrow going from dead plants and animals to it is number 10. So decomposers are represented by species 10 because they are consuming dead plants and animals. Number 12 says, based on Figure 2, which of the following best describes species 5? So we need to figure out, is species 5 a primary consumer or a secondary consumer, and why? Is it because they eat only plants or eat only animals? So let's take a look at species 5 in Figure 2. Here's species 5. So we look at where the arrows are coming from that are pointing to species 5. They're coming from organism number 7 and organism number 8. Those are the only arrows that feed into species 5. And both 7 and 8, as it says above, are plants. So because species number 5 is eating only plants and is one step above the plants, it would be a primary consumer because it eats only plants. So number 12 was F.